If you get hung up on people are telling you they're busy, or it seems like you have to fight a war, put them in a freaking headlock, or throw them in an armbar just to get into a conversation, this video is about to change your life. Think about this for a second. Best friends never hang up on each other, at least not seriously, right? I might as a joke, or if I'm just like, messing around, or just to be a dick. But I'm never going to actually hang up on my best friend if it's something serious or if it's just a normal conversation, right? If we're messing with each other, maybe. But here's the other thing that we've got to remember. Ask, don't tell. You don't want to start the conversation by saying, hey, Jimmy, I was just calling you because you were interested in life insurance and I wanted to call and give you a couple of quotes real quick. Blah, 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 blah. How are you doing today? You got hung up on before you even asked how they were doing. So start by asking a question, and let's talk a little bit about what that looks like and the tonality in which to approach that with. I want to talk to them like I'm their best friend, right? And so let me give an example of how I wouldn't call my best friend. Hey, John, I'm just giving you a call because you were interested in hanging out later. Did you still want to go out and that's never happened. And so you have to practice this like clockwork every single freaking day if you want to be good. And so instead, what I might say to my friend is, hey, is John there? And I'm going to say it as if I'm excited. I'm going to say it a little bit slower so that you can get an idea of how you should present this. Hey, is John there? And if you notice, I leave it off on an up note so that I'm able to convey that not only am I friendly, but I'm also curious to know as whether or not John is actually there to speak. Now, here's what I won't say. Hey, is Jonathan Hedge there? Why would I do that? I would never say that when I was calling for a friend, which automatically flags sales resistance and lets them know that you are a telemarketer. Instead, let's try to be familiar. Now, I'm not going to take credit for doing this. This is actually something that I got from Jordan Belfort, who is like regarded as the best salesperson ever. So this stuff works. So whenever I introduce myself in the call, the first thing that I'm going to say is, hey, is John there? And whenever they respond, which they always will, either you'll get who's asking, or they'll say, yeah, who's this? Right? And I'm just going to reply as if they know me again as a best friend. Yeah, it's Julian, right? Because it would be unreasonable for him to not know who I am. And once you do that, it is socially unacceptable to not reciprocate this type of tonality and energy that you're bringing to the conversation because you seem familiar. Imagine if you called your old buddy from high school and you said, hey, is, John there? And he was like, yeah, who's this? And you're like, yeah, it's Julian. And he's like, Julian who? And you're like, bro, we played soccer in high school for like 6 years. What the hell are you talking about? Right? It'd be weird. So we just want to reply and say, hey, listen, I'm just getting back to you about that form that you filled out on Facebook. So keep in mind that we are replying to a request that they filled out. Now I'm going to use a point of data and familiarity to tie down the conversation. You listed your high school mascot as a pirate. Is that correct? If you're using beneficiary or whatever you're using, it's fine. You can do that as well. But I always want to approach this framework in the very beginning.